What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. And the Mets, one more, just one more, and they are in the NLCS. Before we jump into everything, please be sure to leave a like on the post game show if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. Wow, I have just freaking wow. I just got back from Citi Field not too long ago, as you can tell by with what I'm wearing and everything. Usually I wouldn't wear a hoodie or anything, but just got back from Citi Field for the first times in a month. Lindor plays at Citi Field. The crowd was unbelievable. I mean, that was the best crowd I've been a part of. Before we even talk about the game, crowd-wise, the best crowd I've ever been a part of. Like, it is not even close between Lindor's walk-up song being sang, Iglesias, the Jose song. I mean, just everything. For Pete Alonso, the chants there. And then anytime two strike counts, no matter what inning it is, no matter the situation, crowd on its damn feet. It was so electric to be a part of, and I am so excited to do it all over again tomorrow, even though my voice is pretty much shot. I don't care. I will find a way to make it work tomorrow with my voice being shot and do it and be even louder, honestly, because, man, this is just unbelievable. I mean, it sucks even more that they couldn't finish it off in game 2 to come back here, win this type of game, and then move on. But it is what it is. This is what you're dealing with. And now you have an opportunity to win in front of your home fans and go on to the NLCS in a game 4 tomorrow, pitching against Ranger Suarez, who has been struggling. And then you have Jose Quintana for the Mets, who has been, he's been going right now. So who knows? At the end of the day, we don't know, because if you asked me going into the series in Philly, I said, all right, they were going to probably lose game 1 against Zach Wheeler, and then they would win game 2 against Christopher Sanchez, but it didn't end up being that way. It did not end up being that way at all, so who the hell knows? But all I know is that the Mets have an opportunity to do it, and this was a pivotal win because of the fact that now the Mets forced the Phillies' hand of either starting a very, very short-rested Zach Wheeler tomorrow, or going with Ranger Suarez, who has been struggling. And if you do get on him and he still is struggling, you go to this bullpen that the Mets have had a good chance. I mean, they've been jumping on this bullpen quite a lot. I mean, Jose Alvarado couldn't get out of his inning. Estevez struggled for the Phillies. Kerkering, he was all right for them. And again, we're not here to talk about the Phillies, but regardless, you have an opportunity. Strom, they've got to Hoffman. So you have an opportunity. Here's what I'm saying. Where the Mets, you didn't have to use much of your bullpen as well tonight, which I'm very thankful about, but it did get, of course, a little dicey, but let's talk about it. In the first inning, the Mets get a 1-2-3 inning. Sean Manaea, that is, a couple groundouts. Bottom of the first, the Mets go down in order. The top of the second, Castellanos flies out. Bohm grounds out. Real Muto gets hit by a pitch. Hayes grounds out, which, by the way, the Lindor flyout, I thought that cleared the fence. And what a moment that would have been for everyone singing his walk-up song and the MVP chants, and then he just tanks one. That would have been great. But I was with Matt, co-host of the show here, and he called it. He called a Pete Alonso home run, and he does it in the bottom of the second to make it a 1-0 ball game. Iglesias with a single, and then Winker flies out as Castellanos robbed him at the fence. And this, I felt, was an opportunity where it sucks that it had to be reviewed, that play, because they had something on Nola that inning, and it felt like that was going to be an inning where they were going to jump on him and potentially blow the game open. And then, unfortunately, it didn't materialize as the next 3 guys go down in order, and Marte and Taylor after Winker. And it sucks that happened, and the right call was made there. It was dropped on the transfer, so you put Iglesias back at first, and then you rule out Winker. So it was the right call. It just sucks, though, that it had to go to review because of the fact that it felt like that was an opportunity for the Mets to blow the game open there. We go to the third inning where Manaea faced his first bit of trouble as he hits Sosa, which did worry me, but he got the next 2 strikeouts. Turner got a single, and then everyone, of course, is a little nervous as Bryce Harper's up, and he grounds out. We go to the bottom of the third inning where Alvarez hits a single, Lindor lines out, Vientos flies out, and then Nimmo pops out. We go to the fourth inning where Castellanos flies out. Bohm ends up getting a hit, but Tyrone Taylor, with a nice play in the outfield, guns Bohm down at second. and then Real Muto flies out to end the inning. Bottom of the fourth inning. Remember how Matt called a home run earlier? Well, in the bottom of the fourth inning, I predicted one as well, because after a strikeout from Alonso and a lineout from Iglesias, I said Jesse Winker's going yard here. I mean, he was so close in that last at bat. You could just tell that he was going to get a hold of one, and he pimped the shit out of that, and I absolutely love it. I loved every second of that, and that made it 2-0 for the Mets. Marte strikes out. We go to the top of the fifth, where Manaea, that was probably the easiest inning for him. He got 2 strikeouts, got a ground out, didn't have to work. Bottom of the fifth, 3 straight strikeouts as Taylor, Alvarez, and Lindor strike out. And after that inning, I'm thinking, all right, it's great that they got the lead. It's great they have 2 home runs, but we got to get something going offensively here besides solo home runs, because at some point it's going to bite you in the ass. And it almost did in the 6th inning, because Schwarber and Turner walk, and all of a sudden I thought this thing might spiral out of control. Harper strikes out, and then Castellanos hits into a double play. Manaea fired up walking off the mound. We go to the bottom of the 6th, where Vientos gets a single, Nimmo walks, Alonso walks, and then Kerkering comes in, and then Iglesias hits into a force out as Pete gets tagged out home. Then Winker flies out, and I'm like, we're really about to waste bases loaded with no out, are we? But then Starling Marte, a guy that I ripped on a lot this year, gets a huge RBI single to drive into, 4-0. Taylor hits into a force out. We go to the 7th inning, where again, Manaea, simple work for him, has a 1-2-3 inning, and that ends the inning there for him. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, where again, Alvarado comes in, and the Mets, 2 outs, they rally, a 2-out rally as Mark Vientos hits a single, and then Harrison Bader comes in the pitch run for him, steals a bag, which I thought he was gunned out at first, but thankfully not. Nimmo walks, Alonso walks, load them up. Alvarado comes out for Ruiz, and then Jose Iglesias with a single to make it 6-0. Unfortunately, Alonso gets tagged out at home to keep the inning from going, but either way, 6-0. We go to the 8th inning. They stick with Manaea. Mendoza sticks with Manaea to start it. He allows a single, and then right away he comes out. Phil Maton comes in, and Phil Maton, there's got to be a conversation here, because I don't particularly hate Maton so, because he struck out Marsh. The problem is when the order flips to the most competitive part of the lineup, Schwarber walks, Turner grounds out, Harper, he had him, and then he hits a single to make it 6-1. Stanek has to come in, Castellanos with a single to make it 6-2, and at that point, I started to worry. But Bohm lines out to Bader to end the inning. But, man, with Phil Maton, he cannot be in against these. He can't be getting the high leverage, or the higher part of the order, I should say. He cannot be getting that part of the lineup, because a soft tossing guy, and he's just not being utilized in the right spot. They have to start using him against the lower part of the lineup, because at some point, that's going to be a problem if you continue to trot him out there at that part of the game and against that part of the lineup. Luckily, you had enough of a cushion to where it didn't matter too much, but either way, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, where Martinez walks, Acuna strikes out, Taylor hits into a force out, or a fielder's choice, sorry, because of the play where he bobbled the ball there, Estevez, that is. Alvarez then strikes out, and then Lindor hits a double to make it 7-2. MVP chance for him. Bader flies out, and then a 1-2-3 inning for Stanek, gets a strikeout. He's fired up. Man, Stanek has some aura, but that ended the ball game, and now it puts the Mets with an opportunity to go ahead and close this thing out tomorrow without using guys like Reed Garrett, who did warm up, so there was a chance he had to come in the game, but you didn't use Reed Garrett, who's on a couple days of rest. You still could probably theoretically use either a Maton or Stanek tomorrow if you need to, but you have Diaz now, who's been rested for 2 days, which absolutely helps you out. And then you also have Danny Young, who still hasn't been used. Peterson's probably going to be available tomorrow after 3 days of rest there. So you have a lot of options. Jose Quintana's been dealing. You have, the ball's in your court. This offense still has to show up, though, of course, tomorrow, because, man, tonight, though, they did. Tonight they did, and it was great to watch. I mean, everyone pretty much contributed tonight outside of Tyrone Taylor, and that's really about it. I mean, he was 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Alvarez, even with his 3 strikeouts, still got a hit today. everyone pretty much contributed. Like Nimmo got some walks, Vientos got a couple of hits, Lindor a huge RBI there. He was due for that type of at bat. Iglesias, who keeps coming up in big situations, and I felt maybe should hit lower in the lineup, came up huge with that. The pair of RBIs he got. Winker, big game from him, and hopefully this puts the Mets in a situation where they saw Winker take competitive at bats, and now they're going to want to put him in to pinch hit in certain situations, which it was interesting that he did swing the bat well today, and JD Martinez still came up to pinch hit at one point, but regardless, Marte, came through with a big hit, but the MVP of this game is Sean Manaea. Sean Manaea, which we found out in the post game that his aunt passed away, and condolences to him, his family, and everything. And man, I mean, first Nimmo with his grandma, and then that, both of them use it and have they rallied around both of it, and both of them just unbelievable. Sean Manaea, though, MVP of the game, because 7 innings, 6 strikeouts, allowing 2 walks, 3 hits, 1 earned run. He was unbelievable today, and he was going very sweeper happy early on in the outing, which was interesting to me, and I felt, okay, maybe he's doing something to change up the philosophy, because he's been usually fastball heavy a lot during his recent starts. Maybe this is a thing that he looked over and decided, you know what, I'm going to go sweeper heavy and then give my best stuff with the sinker, with the fastball, and really go after it in a different approach to, not give the Phillies anything and then throw them off from what could have been their game plan going into the game today. So it worked. It absolutely worked. And man, for Sean Manaea to do that after finding out that type of news earlier in the day, good on him. I mean, I feel for the guy, and he was unbelievable today. I absolutely love what he gave today, and it was just unbelievable what this team did today in general. I am just on cloud 9 right now, and tomorrow, man, they have an opportunity to clinch at Citi Field for the first time ever. I'm so excited to be at the ballpark tomorrow. I am so excited, and man, I can't believe my hockey team plays a home opener tomorrow, and I'm going to not be watching it because the Mets are playing meaningful baseball. It's so beautiful. It is so special and so beautiful. I absolutely love it. But Jose Quintana gets the start tomorrow, and let's see what he does. Let's hope he continues to be on fire. Ranger Suarez, let's see what happens with him, which, again, he struggled a lot down the stretch. I don't know if the extra rest will help him or what, but we will see. But the Mets now, the ball's in their court, because you do not want to go back to Philly. And Nick Castellanos said in the postgame, we got to scrape one tomorrow because we know they don't want to come back to Philly. So, you know what? Close it out. And I'm just seeing now Jesse Winker. I've always wondered what it would be like to be a New Yorker, and it's a dream come true. Oh, man. I was not on board with the Winker trade at first, but man, he's absolutely become one of my favorites very quickly. This team in general has so much to love right now. But yeah, see if there's anything going on in the chat. Not that I expect it to be going right now, just because it's later on at night, the post game versus the usual right after the game type deal. Sorry, took a bit to get back. This Mets team is getting hot. You're damn right, Nick. Manaea is the game MVP. You're damn right, Stanley. And yes, one more win. I splurged on the postseason at today, the black postseason at. Very happy with the purchase. Very happy, because when they played in 2022, I don't know if I ever brought this up, but after game 1, when I bought that hat, I returned the hat after game 1, because I was like, I don't know if this is a special season. I was like, I hate to be that guy, but I threw in the towel early there. But man, I love right now that we have so much to just be happy about. I mean, this has been just an unbelievable ride, and I cannot wait to see how much further this goes. And I am hoping that tomorrow they could close it out in front of the home faithful and get me home to be on this post game talking about this team going to the NLCS. But I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I put or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.